Hi, everyone.
Hi guys, this is Sade.
And this is Bethany, episode 4.
Episode 4.
Yay!
Yay! So what are we talking about today, Bethany's?
We're talking about flavors and specifically one of the 5 flavor profiles.
Umami. Say it again.
Umami.
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 Umami. Umami. Okay.
Yeah. So, umami is what? A Japanese word?
It's a Japanese word. It's a Japanese word for, I think it's the essence of deliciousness.
Yeah, so it was it's one of the newer flavor profiles.
Yeah.
So we had 4 main ones.
We have sweet, we have salty, we have bitter.
Sour.
No, sour, sorry.
Yeah.
Salty is salty one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet, salty,
Bitter, sour,
Sour.
and then umami.
and then umami.
Yeah.
And
So-
basically,
Yeah.
let's go.
Whenever I think of umami, I always think of Japanese because Japanese cuisine is they always talk about umami, and it just sounds amazing. But whenever I think of umami, and I think like, I know we Nigerians, we like flavor.
Yeah.
We eat good.
So umami is basically like a concentrated punch, like just
Mhm.
a pack of savoriness,
Yes.
a savory flavor.
You know, as you were
That is
saying
just-
this,
yeah.
I thought about the movie Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Remember, like the first 20 minutes of the movie when the main character, I forgot his name, the main character was
the
eating
skinny guy, the chef?
the actual chef, yeah, the rats, the ratatouille. His name is Ratatouille, right?
No,
actually, I don't know.
ratatouille's the dish, babes.
Sorry. Yes, it's a dish. But the main character, when he was eating the raspberry and the cheese,
Why
and
don't we know his name?
I don't know
We have
ever.
to find this out.
Okay.
His name is,
Oh my god.
or maybe
Ratatouille-
it's not a French name. Martin? No,
I
no,
don't know.
Martin.
Okay, so remember, like I think it was the first 20 minutes of the movie where him and his brothers were talking. And of course, the brother was a bit chubbier. He didn't really care about flavors. He didn't really care about food. He would eat trash. He would eat whatever. So he was trying to explain to his brother about flavors, and he was talking about when you eat cheese, and there was like a little instrument, a little sound in the background bursting, and then he added the raspberry, and it was like more of like a whole symphony, and he added everything together, and it came as like a flavor, and there was just musical.
Burst.
But exactly what I think of when I think of umami, ratatouille,
So the rat's name is Remy,
Remy. Oh yeah, okay.
and
The human being.
Alfredo.
The human being is Alfredo. Out of all the names,
It says Alfredo.
are you serious?
His name is actually Alfredo Linguini.
They did not even try. They did not even try
Wait,
with that.
How did we not gauge this?
Wait, so the human being, the one that was helping him out.
Yeah, the
his name is-
garbage boy.
The garbage. Wow.
His name is Alfredo,
Alfredo
Linguini.
Linguini.
Just wild that man's name is Alfredo,
Alfredo
Linguini.
Linguini.
Basically, pasta sauce. That's his name.
Yes.
That's
But-
funny, but that's such a great like expression of what umami is.
Yeah.
Because really, that's how like our brains recognize it. Like
Mhm.
once that we get that like hit, it's kind of like a drug. That hit
Mhm.
of MSG, the saltiness,
Mm.
the savoriness.
Yeah, exactly.
It just pops off
Yeah.
in our heads. And I think that's like a big reason why people are like they're addicted to that flavor.
Indeed. And it's funny because I know we talk about nostalgia a lot on this podcast. The way it brings that burst flavor, I think it also breeds some sense of nostalgia. You eat something,
Yeah.
it takes you back 10 years, and just like Ratatouille, the mean guy, the critic,
Yeah.
he ate the Ratatouille and that took him back to when he was a baby
Right.
with his mom making it. And that's what food is. I think that's what umami is.
I mean, I
God
think
is
people
good.
are just
God is so good. The way he can let our tongue the way you
and
can let our
brains
tongue
process flavors.
process just by taste and smell,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get that visual. You get your eyes your eyes see it.
Yeah, it's so interesting because like you can find umami naturally in. I mean, it's literally a natural thing.
Yeah.
So we find it in tomatoes. We find it in mushrooms.
Yes.
We find it in like different kind of fish. We find
Yeah.
it in fermented things.
Absolutely,
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
But a lot of people, I guess the West especially, have tried to paint like MSG as a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing. In moderation, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not a bad thing. And there have been a lot of people that have been putting in the work to really like educate people about
Yes.
MSG and educate people about like this is a narrative that a certain crowd or certain people are trying to push. It's not necessarily like like people have sensitivity to anything. So just because someone is having MSG sensitivity doesn't automatically make it a bad thing.
Yeah, for everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly. And without having to get too deep, there is a whole Western issue and there is a whole prejudice issue around it. Truly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason why that narrative was being pushed. There was an agenda behind it. But that aside, when we think about our own food,
umami, Nigerian cuisine, or just West African in general,
exactly,
there's a lot of, just thinking back at it, there's a lot of food that we eat back home that breeds umami. Example, I think Toby said, this is Toby Smith? The founder, Toby Smith, the founder of Adon. He told me about abula.
Okay.
I didn't see it that way until he told me about it. It's like abula, you know, the actual amala, and then you get the begri, honey beans and palm oil, and then you get the fried stew, which once you fry it, it's like savory sweetness, and the oil that comes with that, and then you get the ewedu, which you get that herbaceous combined together, the spices, you get sweet notes, you get the bitter from the amala. I don't think amala is bitter, but it has
it has a touch
of earthiness.
Earthiness. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I love that explanation because, sorry, this is so like off track now, but like I've not been able to find the word to describe amala. If someone was to ask.
Nigerians, you know, there's a lot of umami, but I don't think we say umami. Oh, that's umami. Like we say things like, go ahead, baby. I like the way you say it.
We say odun.
Odun baje.
It's sweet.
It's sweet. This soup is sweet too. Yeah. And I think that's our definition of what umami is.
Yeah, literally, because that was not the word for us. It's not in our vocabulary.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
definitely. I think once, and I've noticed that when people say it's sweet for things like stew or soup or whatever, there's a nor taste that like slaps in the. It slaps like in the back of your tongue. I'm not even lying.
Yes.
Like, it has a sweet taste that is not sugar. It's not a sugary taste.
It's not a sugary taste. It's that balance of everything that just
I makes the balance, babes. I think that MSG punch. That's what it is.
I don't agree, because even though I add my my season, I still have to add salt to give it that balance.
I'm talking about the ones that the aunties make, because keep in mind that they're making those huge ass pots.
Yes.
Where sometimes nor as we know it, like nor granulated bouillon
chicken
seasoning
bouillon
is not cutting it.
Yeah.
They are using hardcore pure MSG.
Oh wow.
That's what they're using.
Oh wow. Because I made ogbono like last month, and I put it in my mouth. I'm like, oh my god, it's sweet. Ogbono does have sweet notes to it, but there was just this balance of like the palm oil, the earthiness of the ogbono seeds. There was just this balance. So I was trying to think maybe that's how our mothers, but you do have a point, babes.
There are people that don't cook with any nors or bouillon cubes or any of those things, but they really just work with a lot of like the natural flavors, either from like seasonings, spices, herbs, those kind of things, and really just time. I was about to say, and really just taking the time. You need time.
Absolutely.
You need time to really develop.
Develop is another word. Because develop means patience. You have to have patience.
Yes.
You cannot just develop 5, 6, 7, 8 and you're done.
You need
it takes
that time.
So
there's that. I think another thing that has a lot of umami is iru, which is the fermented beans.
And I like how different tribes have their own. You know, there's ogiri. There's
Hausa dawa dawa.
Yes, there's just so many other things. I'm trying to think of like seafood wise in Nigeria.
Well, other than like the crayfish and things like that,
yes,
we have
crayfish.
I know there are different types of fish that
they are. That brings different flavor.
Yes, and I know there's a lot of like usage of dry prawns. And I know the heads, especially like dry shrimp heads, all of that is very like great.
Very much so, absolutely. And I like how we also rely on herbs, like scent leaves and things like that. Yeah. Leaves are not just plain leaves; they have depth of flavor. You hydrate it, and it just we can talk about food. from morning to night.
It definitely takes you to that next level of like your food experience.
Yes.
I think also it's just nice to be able to like identify this in different cultures as well, in many different foods.
Yes. Senegal.
Yeah. What have you had from Senegal?
I've never had Senegal jollof rice. Jollof. I've never.
It's Chiboudian, right? Don't drag us. I think it's Chiboudian, but
I don't know. But I watched the video of how it was made.
Shads. I've never had it before.
I've never had it either.
I crave it.
Like, I saw a YouTube video of a Senegalese woman showing a white man how it's made, and I was just in awe. I did not see one.
Should we look for a Senegalese restaurant in Houston?
We should go. Yeah. Absolutely. They did not use one blender. Mortar and pesto.
Yeah.
They even the fish. They put herbs in the fish. They tied the fish. I was in awe. Like, there was no one single blender. There was nothing. You cook, time, effort. There are stages. And then at the end, there's this big platter and they put the rice on one section. I'm literally
salivating right now as I'm listening to you.
They put the rice on one section. They put the veggies. They put the fish. It's all, and then you use your hand and you're picking and you're...
I haven't eaten it before, but I know it's something I'm going to love.
Yes.
I know I'm absolutely going to love it. And I love, like, the way... I know, again, this has nothing to do with umami. It's not we're talking about jollof rice.
But it's an umami, though.
It has a combination of flavors that you know will just be a burst.
And it's natural, babes. There's no one simple blend. You know when you blend stew and you use the stone... I feel like it tastes different.
Definitely.
But who has time?
You do, babes.
I don't have time.
Shade, when you come into cooking for yourself sometimes, you put in the egg. Shade, we were eating a sandwich the other day, and this girl did a quick pickle of cucumbers.
I had to. For texture.
I get it. Like, I understand, but no normal. Only we, like, would do stuff like that. Like,
yes.
Only we would do stuff like that, and people that love food. But any regular Joe is like making their sandwich. But it's that time. They'll say like, "This babe has time," because why the hell are you quick pickling some cucumbers,
guys,
for this turkey sandwich?
Let me just give you a tip. In your sandwich, if you want to elevate a little bit, saute some onions, right, and add some bell peppers, and then pickle some onions and put that in your sandwich. And thank me.
And pickle cucumbers.
Oh, what did I just say?
You said onions.
Pickle cucumbers. Yes, you can even do that too. Pickle
onions.
Yeah. So,
no, it's
thank
bomb.
me later. It's amazing.
It's bomb.
Okay, what other?
Back to there's miso paste.
Japanese.
Yes, Japanese, which is fermented soybeans. I love miso soup. Like, if I go to any Japanese restaurant and there's miso soup on the menu, best believe I'm getting me some.
Yes.
And I just love cooking with miso. In general.
Yeah.
Like it's fish. Miso sauces for rice. As a glaze. So many
your
different
raw
things
fishes.
you can do with it. Yeah. Like, miso is awesome.
I like how the things that are fermented, the things that smell bad, are the ones that have...
You know what's crazy? I don't think fermentation smells bad. Like how people say like fufu and ofada rice and all these fermented foods smell bad. I quite like it, you know.
When I say bad, it's just, I mean, not like nasty.
I know what you mean.
Well, Iru smells though. Iru has this distinct
Iru
smell.
Is tough.
Iru
that one is aggressive.
Punch in your face, yeah.
But
but you're right. You're absolutely right with fermented. Like, it's just a different smell. Doesn't mean that it's bad. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Thank you for changing your language. It's not bad. It's not a bad
It's not a bad thing. It's just a different smell.
It's a different smell. It's from the process.
Yeah.
So definitely fermented foods.
Yeah, fermented foods, they have so much power. And so much depth.
Yes.
And that requires time. Time and temperature.
What's that thing that we're eating?
Something you can do.
The cabbage. The fermented cabbage.
Kimchi.
There we go.
Kimchi. I haven't had good kimchi though.
You haven't?
The only kimchi I had was when we were in culinary school when French people were making kimchi.
No. So yeah, okay.
So I haven't had good kimchi. Like kimchi. I've seen kimchi like in the store, like you can buy it.
Some of the store ones though, you have to really like. I had a very big kimchi phase, And I was like trying to just go to H Mart and buy a few different brands.
Okay.
And try them. But there was one brand that I have to stay away from completely. But experiment. And if you have the opportunity to go eat at someone's house, because one of the best kimchis I had was when I was visiting in Denton, and Toby's professor at the time is Korean, and his family, they host dinners and all of that, so they cook all the time. And so I went visiting, and his wife, she
threw down. There's something about
they had house. Korean barbecue in their house. They had the kimchi and all the fixings. They had the rice. Everything,
the whole throw down.
Beautiful. So if you have, it's kind of like how you can only, like, for example, I love Igbo soups, but truthfully,
Igbo soups.
The best ofe nsala, the best any of those kind of really traditional soups, white soup and stuff that I've had have been from the homes of people, not restaurants, not stores. Yeah. Home cooked.
It's funny when people ask me what's a really good Nigerian restaurant to go to. There's so many. There's plenty in Houston. But I always say, do you have a Nigerian friend? They're gonna definitely invite you over, and then you can eat in their house. I feel like that's the best type of
food. Those are usually the best
because it's home cooked. It's not mass produced. It's not someone make it in one day, someone make it the other day. You know.
You need to try. So if you want another kimchi experience, I would say have it at someone's house.
Have someone's friends, please. I know I have lots of diverse friends. Invite me.
There are a lot of like Korean barbecue places in Houston too that have good kimchi.
I'm sure.
So maybe we can also add that to our list.
Senegal.
I feel like Shade, we used to eat out a lot. Oh, we're broke bitches now.
We are entrepreneurs. We have priorities.
I'm like, dang, Shade,
we used to have Monday dates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We used to eat out so much.
But we have bills to pay, and we have God, when? When? God, we are not evil people. We are good people, for heaven's sake. God, when? Just put extra 1 million.
Have we even gone? We haven't.
We are going to go tonight to
back
mommy.
to it. Shita.
Oh.
Let's go to Ghana. Let's go to Ghana.
I heard Ghanaian mans are beautiful.
Are they?
Black and beautiful.
They're dark and chocolate and handsome and tall.
God. When?
So we're talking about Shito right now. Yes. Shita. So Shita is a fried pepper base. Essentially.
It's onions. I made it with my Ghanaian friend. I love you, Christine.
Yeah, Shita was bomb. AF.
It wasn't that great because I gave it to at least 5 Ghanaians. I burnt it. It's like making ewa going, like the sauce.
Yeah.
And my friend told me, make it outside. Don't make it in your house because you're also going to smell like shit for like at least 12 weeks. It was great, but it didn't have that punch.
Did you not have taste. All the? Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I would say
taste.
Yeah,
that's different fish,
different fishes,
dry fish, variety. Like you can't hold back. I know herring is one of them, right? Like dried herring is a big part. One of ones that
I remember blending
dried shrimp.
Yes, I remember blending like the onions and the ginger and pepper. I blended the base was white. The goal is to fry it until it's black.
Yeah,
and that requires time. And
the flavor is heat. To be able to get it there without burning it. So think about the technique of making a roux, a dark roux.
That's amazing, babes.
A dark roux, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So if you're making gumbo, you want to build up that roux. So from white, it'll start browning a little. It'll be like a chocolatey color. And then if you want your dark roux, it's dark. And you realize that if you've had good roux, there's a depth of nuttiness and bitterness that comes with the roux that is not burnt.
That is not burnt, exactly.
There's a difference.
And I feel like it's all in
the same. It's stirring.
All in the stirring, all in the technique.
Flick of the wrist.
Yes.
Essentially, Shita is like, has such a punch.
Yes.
It packs a punch.
It's delicious. You can eat it with anything.
Anything.
On a topping. I had Shito. Remember when we went to Blue Dawn? Yes. And we're eating oysters?
This girl took her Shito.
I bought my Shito.
She used it as a topping. So you know when you're eating raw oysters, you have like the traditional way people eat it is you put a little relish and then some hot sauce. This girl brought out her Shito from her bag.
I did.
And she said, I'm going to put some on this. And I'm not going to lie, sis, it was bussin'.
It was good. It was great.
It was hot.
It was wonderful.
It was too
It was like you're eating the sea, but then you get that depth of that shrimp flavor.
She had that freshness from
God bless us.
Yeah, no, that was a lovely experience. Our friend Talani was there.
Yes.
And she enjoyed it as well. And
yes.
she could also confirm that it was not a flop. It was awesome.
It was okay. I can't wait to do it again and make it even better.
No, it was beautiful. And I think we had like the cracker.
Yeah.
So we had
yeah. I ate mine with the wet fries too. Yeah. It was just a good dipping sauce. Awesome. Okay, the Indian cuisine. Umami. So we eat a lot of Indian food. Spices for sure.
Yes, definitely spices.
I think
they develop flavors. They spend time. So it starts from even like blooming your spices. So toasting them.
Yes.
Getting them to like release its own natural oils.
Bethany, God bless you. Toasting them, blending it together, knowing what works and what doesn't. That's a form of umami also.
Just building that flavor in that way. Okay.
And I feel like with Latin cuisine, I feel like when I think of
they
Latin,
have a lot of like
tomato
base.
Yeah, I feel like I think acid. I feel like like you said, tomato base. They use a lot of meat. They rely on herbs like chimichurri. We are trying. We're trying to find umami in different cuisines and things like that.
You guys tell us.
Yeah, I would like to know, even in like countries in West Africa
or countries all over the world.
Like what? And trust me, your mom has made something umami-ish.
Umami-ish. I think now, honestly, truly, I think it's almost impossible now to eat things that doesn't have that umami.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
And it's so weird to like explain what umami is to someone. It is. When someone is eating, how do you, like, when something is sweet, when something's salty, bitter, sour. But I don't know how a regular person can sit and say, umami.
But I think we've done a pretty good job explaining it. So I feel like once people listen to this, once our listeners listen to this,
they'll be able to
figure out that there is no like distinct. It's something that just brings that symphony, like the Ratatouille. That
if it brings the symphony to your brain,
to your brain cells, if it makes you do the dance,
little dance,
or it brings like nostalgia, then that is, I believe, umami. I have a question.
Okay,
can Nigerians cook without no?
Oh, that's a table that can be shook.
Yes, because we went to culinary school. We are Nigerians.
Yeah.
So when we went to culinary school, went to a French culinary school, there was no Maggi. It was just salt and pepper.
Yeah, that's it.
So salt that forced us to rely on developing our flavors from herbs and vegetables, even though it wasn't what we were used to, but we had to rely on that. And I believe, and I feel like it's a challenge,
Yeah.
Trying not to reach for the no. The easy way.
If you're someone that usually tends to do that, truthfully, nor Maggi, all these things is just like concentrated
chicken bouillon. Yes, stock. Yes, exactly.
So either beef stock, chicken stock, fish stock, whatever. It's just that, right? So if you are naturally making those things, you're making your stock from scratch.
Yeah.
You're using a lot of aromatics to enhance it.
Yes.
Technically, you don't really need... You really
don't need you don't need it. Exactly.
I loved that during our Daniel fast, I was able to, I told you I deviated from the no seasoning a little bit.
I don't know.
I was able to fully enjoy my foods with
Let's explain to people what Daniel fast is basically like a just fruits and vegetables diet.
Like Daniel from the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. Just fruits and vegetables, nothing extra, no
yeast,
salt, no yeast,
breads,
no sugar, nothing processed, just fresh everything, vegetables and fruits.
And of course, people have their own different...
Everyone has their own different understanding of, and it's between you and God.
Last.
It's between you and God. So, but yes, as you were saying, how you were able to rely on
I only use salt. And so this was my first time doing Daniel fast.
And she did a wonderful job.
I tried the no salt and seasoning thing. I tried, but eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to eat salt. I need some salt.
Yes.
But I was eating a lot of mushrooms. I was eating a lot of tomatoes. I was eating a lot of avocados.
Yes.
And those things with just a pinch of salt, I really realized the value of salt. Salt enhances those natural flavors.
It does.
And it just literally binds everything together.
Yes, it does.
In terms of flavoring. And
without covering the actual flavor of the vegetables.
Exactly. So when I thought back to culinary school, I was like, we were making so many dishes. So many dishes that normally people would want to put salt and nor and all of these things into them. But really, all we were doing is using techniques like reduction to enhance the sauce flavors.
Sauté on sauce.
Really? Reduction?
I remember something.
Roasting?
Yes. Frying.
Like just
steaming.
Just different ways.
Different
and
things.
It gave you different textures. And the flavors were highlighted in the different textures. So we as Nigerians, I think there are just certain dishes that we're just used to. Like, truthfully, there are dishes that I just need that MSG taste in.
Yes.
So I'm going to reach for the north.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some soups, some stews, and jollof rice.
Absolutely. Fried rice too. You even need
and fried rice.
You need nor in fried rice.
I feel like, truthfully, you can get away with coconut rice without that because coconut rice, and by sometimes like me, I like to jazz it up with some herbs and this and that. So that one, it's like a herby rice with coconut. But that fried rice and jollof rice,
you need Maggi.
I think you need it.
Absolutely.
I think you need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it.
So I challenge you Nigerians.
Shadi, can you make egusi without?
No, I can't make egusi without.
Okay, because.
No, egusi. Because you have palm oil. You know, palm oil and nor does magic together. Okay. It's like 5 and 6.
But like for things like palm oil and fried yam, for instance, something that you absolutely have no business putting nor in is fried yam or boiled yam
or white
with
rice.
palm yam with palm oil.
Yeah.
You know how you caramelize the onions? You caramelize the onions.
Are you taking notes, guys? Rodo. Are you taking notes?
Caramelize onions, rodo, and palm oil with a sprinkle of salt. You don't need nor.
You don't need
nothing. So those are the kind of dishes where it's like, okay,
don't overkill.
Don't, like, for instance, asun. I don't use nor when I eat goat. So asun in a commercial kitchen is different from making asun like when you have the time.
Yeah.
Asun roasted goat. On the grill,
outside. Let the wind add its own flavor to it.
I miss when Toby used to make it like this. It's scale is crazy, also.
Yeah,
but we would just sit on the grill.
Let's talk about that next. Scale.
Yeah,
scale and how that affects your flavors.
Yeah, like not necessarily bad quality, but it changes. There's a shift.
Yes.
But I just have to talk about this meat because sometimes people over season meats as well. And meats have natural flavors. You don't want to mask those.
Yes.
Goat meats, like gamey meats, a good amount of salt, just roast them. Like let them do their things.
Duck. Oh my God. Salt is enough. Don't sprinkle.
You don't need too much. Just salt. No need for that.
Ribeye, a really good prime ribeye, salt and pepper.
Let the fat do the work.
Age it.
Fat is flavor. See, those kind of things, you just need salt.
Yes. So I challenge you Nigerians. Not only just Nigerians, I feel like also Asians too. Yeah. Every culture that rely on MSG, challenge yourself for a week. Be the chef. Be the driver of your destiny in regards to cooking. Do not put rely on developing your flavors from onions, celery, carrots, what else? Basil and thyme. Thyme, the actual fresh herbs, but also thyme, like TIME.
Bay leaves.
In developing your flavors. Yeah, bay leaves, curries.
There's also
toast your nuts, caraway, cardamom.
We also have like the seeds, like the star anise.
Yes, cloves. Oh, cinnamon.
Not in everything. Don't make jollof rice and beef. But I know actually some people have seen someone on TikTok put
nutmeg
and nutmeg in their jollof.
That sounds nice. I better put nutmeg in my fried rice though.
I haven't done that before.
That nutty.
Have you done that?
I want to.
Try it.
I will.
Try it and let me know. But
yeah.
Develop your flavors. Try using just herbs like Shad said. Use the aromatics, carrots, onions. Oh, leeks.
Oh, I love. So leeks is like a bougie aunt of onions or shallots. I think it's a bougie, rich. You can't touch me. You can't sit with me.
It's like the big auntie of green onions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That too. Babe, you do a really good job explaining food.
These analogies. I'm trying. Is it really though?
It really
right?
is.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I love leaks so much.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Honestly, culinary school exposed me to leeks. I mean, obviously, we knew leeks. But I did not know leeks. I didn't really use it. I knew of it. Yeah. Because I like oniony things in general, but I never used it as much as we did in culinary school. Yeah. But you, Sade. After culinary school, if leeks comes back in another life and sees Sade or Jalade,
they will know me.
They are gonna run away because Sade puts leeks
in everything. I have to. It's pretty,
and leeks are not cheap.
Babes, don't expose me. We are broke entrepreneurs, but we like good things.
Sade, leeks are not cheap.
They're not cheap, but they are good. And just
that's all I gotta say about that.
And yeah, I'm thinking about doing something.
If you follow Sade, you eat good, but your account will cry. All right, guys.
Thank you guys again for tuning in.
Peace out, Boy Scouts.
Have a good one. Have a blessed day.
Catch you guys next time.